Yo, check it. Hey yo fam, what up? Things are about to get crazy, okay? Overall stock and crypto market, we're gonna hop into that, and the meme stocks are about to pop off. I'm gonna explain why I think that and show you the charts, facts, and data and what we're actually looking at. This week is going to be insane. Let's go ahead and hop right in. All right, what is up, fam? You are back for another video. This video is going to be a little bit different than your normal weekly outlook and prediction. We're looking at AMC, GME, SPY, the overall cryptocurrency market and stock market, but we're going to hop into the meme stocks right now. I wasn't even going to make this video till later, but I started looking at things. It was like, I have to get this information out there now. We are potentially seeing something go down here with the meme stocks. So I'm going to talk about all that more in this video. So starting right off with GME, you can see here on the macro, we're possibly forming a huge double bottom. It'd be bottom number one here and then bottom number two here, especially if we get a bounce to the upside. Now, this is looking on the macro. If we start going towards $25, $30, GME is going to take off, okay? And we're getting close to that. So you need to really look at what's going on this week. And I'm not trying to hype everybody up, but something is happening, okay? And it's very, very clear when you look at the charts, facts, and data. And I'm going to explain why I feel that way in this video, okay? So I think we're going to see something this week. This week's going to be interesting, and the weeks coming up are going to be very interesting for the meme stocks and the stock market. GME forming this overall macro double bottom. If we go ahead and start to zoom in and look at what's going on, we have a few things going on. We're outside of the bands. RSI is very overbought here on the higher time frame. So we are running hot right now, okay? We're running hot right now, and that means we have to pull back to let RSI cool down. Now, if we start squeezing, we could easily push up higher and this thing could get crazy, but we don't want to start squeezing from these lower levels. We want to try to go as high as possible, as healthy as possible. That way we can ultimately reach higher levels. So what I'm hoping to see is GME actually cool off a little bit, RSI cool down, see some consolidation before a bigger move to the upside. Now, what I'm expecting to see here on Monday, based off the charts, facts, and data, you can see that we have a little bit of bearish divergence. You can see that RSI is trending down here on the smaller time frames, and then price is trending up. With that being the case, that means price could trend up very, very easily before correcting to the downside, but it will have a correction to the downside because of the bearish divergence. What we're looking for is we want to see if we can hold 2150 as support. If we can hold that as support, you're going to see a continuation to the upside. What I think is going to happen in the morning on Monday is we're going to see a little bit of push to the upside, a pullback, retesting that 2150, initially holding that level. We have to see if we can hold this level throughout the day. If we can continue to the upside, filling this overall gap. And I told y'all once we seen GME crash to the downside, I said, hey, you might want to, when RSI gets low, start looking at the dip, buying the dip. You can see RSI is low here, and that was the bottom. You can see here on the 4-hour time frame, RSI got low outside of the bands. That's always a good time to buy when RSI is low outside of the bands. That's when you want to hop in because that's too much selling. We got a nice bounce from that. We formed our bottom. I told you if we could hold 1950, you're going to start moving up towards the gap fill. We held 1950, and we're moving up towards the gap fill. And I said when GameStop broke down, if we were going to come back up to at least 2314 at minimum, because that's where the gap ends on the daily time frame. I think we're going to fill this gap this week. Now, if GME can work up to this gap and start moving towards 25.42 using that level of support, we could potentially move towards $30 and fulfill this macro double bottom. If we can break this like 25.42 to 24.75 level, like you can see this level here, if I kind of move this purple line up where that gold or yellow and purple line are, that range, if we can break above that, you could see a decent move to the upside towards $30 with that macro double bottom playing out, and that could send GME flying. So we have technicals saying that GME is potentially setting up for a move. Okay, so that's one reason why I think something is happening. We had this crazy move on Friday. Call options were stacked. Market makers knew this move was coming, and look what's happening now with the GME. If we go ahead and look at the options chain, you can see that the options chain for GME is stacked. So we were expecting a move on Friday. Why? Because there was options stacked crazy and it was quad witching. Well, you can see right here, we have options stacked crazy. This is the 20th, so this is the last expiration date of the last Friday. Here's this current expiration date, and look at the open interest by strike. So here's open interest. That means how many calls are taken out. Okay, see 375 million. You see open interest is around 16 to 18K. Look at what we have right now for open interest. We have 8K open interest and we have 70 million calls. So again, we have call options stacked to the hilt for this expiration date. Not as many as last expiration date, but we do have a very good amount, okay? So calls are absolutely stacked and people are looking for another potential move here for GME stock based off of the options chain. Now, we also have something else going on as well. Cost to borrow spiking to the upside. You can see that we had this spike in cost to borrow. I tell y'all to watch the cost to borrow on the meme stocks because anytime we have spikes to cost to borrow, the price is going to start moving. You can see that we had this spike here. Price started moving. You can see that we actually had these spikes here at like 5.6, 5.9. That's when GME absolutely took off. 5.6, 5.9. You can see that on the bottom of your screen. The date's there. That's when GME absolutely took off. We ran 600% and we made a bag here in the DataZero fan. Make sure you lock into the Discord. We played options crazy on that move. You can see right now what I'm expecting is a potential move to the upside for GME based off of all these factors. We have a spike in cost to borrow. Obviously, market maker, somebody with a lot of money buying options, expecting another move to the upside for GME. The calls are heavily skewed to the call side, or options are heavily skewed to the call side. So way more calls outweighing puts, and people are going heavy on calls. We have the spike in cost to borrow, and we have technicals showing it as well. And we have proofs of concept with the previous run that we just had, that huge rally, that 600% move. Proofs of concept, we have Bollinger Bands constricting. If we start moving to the upside toward $30, you're going to see another move for GME, another big move. So I think we're actually setting up for something on GME. Now, is it going to start squeezing this week? We have to see if we can get towards that $30 range. If we do, then yes. But what we have to focus on right now is what's happening on the micro, which I explained with the bearish divergence, which we could see a drift up into that gap fill and then correcting to the downside if we hold that 2150 level of support. What I think is going to be happening tomorrow in pre-market is a pop to the upside and then pulling back, holding that level initially, but we have to see if we can hold it throughout the rest of the day, okay? And then I will be live giving technicals as they go down and giving videos throughout this week describing what's going on in my personal opinion. So this is what I'm looking at for GME. I think we're going to see a green week. I think things are going to get exciting based off the option change, cost to borrow, and technicals saying that GME is going to make a move to the upside. So I'm looking at this as a potential green week for GME stock. Let's go ahead and move into AMC and show you what's going on for AMC. Then we will move into the overall stock market. So AMC, I think, is also potentially setting up for a move, and I'll go ahead and explain why I think AMC is setting up for a move. You can see that we're breaking out of this falling wedge after hitting into these buy orders. We had a lot of selling pressure pushing us down to these buy orders. You can see last time we got out of these buy orders, we had this big pop to the upside. We are now retesting the falling wedge, which is something I said we might have to do. We came back down, retesting this falling wedge, and looks like we're getting a pop to the upside. Now, AMC has these sell orders here about $4.83 and $5 that we would have to break through, and we are going to see resistance at those levels, but it looks like AMC is potentially getting ready to make a reversal back to the upside into this overall channel of support. And if we see that, we can start moving towards that $6 level, which is similar to GME at that $30 level. If AMC can break above and hold $6, you're going to see a move to the upside. Now, people often ask me, what phase are we in still? I think that we are in either phase 6, 7, or 8. And why do I say that? I think we're at the end of the fractal. And why do I say that? Because we have to be at the amount of time that has taken place. But you have to understand that the fractal can literally speed up and slow down. The algorithm literally speeds up and slows down. And if you look at price action now, and if you looked at volume now until recently, which is another reason why I think AMC and GME are going to make a move, we had massive volume spikes on these weeks. You can see that there was actually a massive amount of buy orders as well. I'm sorry I didn't mention this in the GME section, but there was a massive amount of buy orders here as well for GME and a massive amount of buy volume. You can see here on the daily time frame, we've had little to no volume here on the meme stocks, and that's how the algorithm literally slows down. You can see 61 million volume here on GME stock, and a lot of this happened at the very end of the day. That was institutions and or hedge funds buying, and that's why I keep saying there's a long operator, there's somebody with a lot of money accumulating these stocks. AMC and GME has been in an accumulation range, and they're going to move up. So going back to what I was saying on algorithm and fractal, and sorry I went off on the tangent, it literally speeds up and slows down. But ladies and gentlemen, this is exactly that. The fractal was playing out. This was an accumulation range, and you're going to see that move to the upside. The same as the 2021 and 20 rally where we had a push to the upside. This was our proof of concept that we could see a move, this 400% move. Then we consolidated, and we are going to see another move. This was literally your proof that it could happen, okay? We ran 400% from the lows, okay? AMC is setting up for another move. I think it's going to possibly, this is, again, speculation at this point until we get to those higher levels. I need to see those prices broken. I need to see that volume coming in, which is what we're seeing. So we could potentially see it within this week or next week start moving towards the upside, potentially breaking out of this overall trading range. Now, GME is similar, has been in an overall trading range. It's just been way more volatile. Like if you draw lines pretty much from like about $30 to about like $19.50 at the low, it's been an overall range. AMC has been in an overall range. Volume has been absolutely abysmal until recently. You can see 27 million here on AMC stock, and that mostly happened at the end of the days and after hours, okay? Somebody's buying. Somebody's buying. These stocks have been accumulated at these low prices. Somebody's buying the dip. They're going to move to the upside, in my personal opinion. And I've also explained AMC here extensively here on the channel. You can watch my other videos, but Bollinger Bands constricted here on the weekly time frame. Green weekly MACD, green monthly MACD. We also have buy orders here on the super trend. Like we have a massive amount of bullish signals, and I've talked about it here on Twitter as well. Follow me on the Twitter if you don't mind, on reasons why AMC is absolutely bullish in this accumulation range, in my personal opinion, and is actually going to see a much bigger move to the upside. And I broke it all down in the video, how this was the bullish consolidation before 2021 and why I think we're actually going to see a move. And I broke that all down. You can check that video out if you want. But I think we're going to see a green week for AMC. We're breaking out of this overall falling wedge, and I think we're going to see a move to the upside. What I want to see here on Monday is consolidation here in the pre-market, and this is what I believe we're going to see, bouncing off of 472, using that as support, and then pushing to the upside. We need to see if we can hold that level throughout the day. If we do, you're going to see AMC continue to the upside towards that 485 range. That's where the buy or the sell orders start to come into play. If we break above $5, you're going to see a decent move because that's where gamma starts to kick in. And of course, if we can break $6, that's when things are going to start get crazy, if we can break and hold that level. So this is what I'm looking at for AMC. I think we're going to see a green week, closing the week higher than we started. I think we're going to see a green week on GME. That was my analysis. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button and lock in for more. Now let's go ahead and move into SPY and then go into Bitcoin and then wrap up this video. So SPY, I think, is going to actually continue to the upside and then pull back. And I'll explain why I feel that way and show you kind of what I mean. But this trend line has not been broken here. We still have an overall buy signal here in the 4-hour time frame. I think the market is going to try to push up a little bit higher and then start pulling back to the downside in a big way. Now, a lot of people think that a crazy bull run is coming because the Fed cut rates. I explained all of my logic and thinking on all of this, all of my thoughts. I think we're going into a recessionary period, in my personal opinion, okay? I think we're going into a recessionary period. I think things are not good for the overall economy. Normally, when the Fed cuts rates, that means it's the start of the recession. And also in 2007, we did something very, very similar, where you've seen the market rally to the upside after the Fed cut rate by 50 basis points. And then the market rallied to the upside, then collapsed 53%. We did the same thing in 2007 before 2008. And I also think that the meme stock squeeze will actually correlate with this overall pullback in the market, in my personal opinion. Again, this could be all speculation, but based off of everything that I'm looking at, that is what I truly believe. Now, I think we're going to see a pullback in the market, and I think this is actually coming very, very soon. We could see a little bit more rally to the upside, but if you go ahead and look at what's happening here on the bigger time frames, we have little to no room to run. Daily RSI already sitting at 65, and RSI on the 4-hour time frame pretty much overbought. As soon as we push to the upside, it will get back into that overbought territory. We also have bearish divergence starting here on the smaller time frames. As you can see, RSI clearly trending down while price trends up. That means a steep correction will come once price starts to flatten out, and once this trend line is broken, I think that correction will come back to the downside. filling all of these gaps. If you go ahead and look at what's going on for NASDAQ, NASDAQ has a gap fill to the upside. I believe that we're actually going to push up because of this gap fill in this gap and pull back. And you can see that NASDAQ has RSI a little bit more cool than SPY, and the overall rally that's been happening is been based off of NASDAQ. It's been based off the Mag 7. That is what's creating this overall crazy rally that we're seeing here on SPY in the overall market. If you look at the small and mid-cap stocks, they haven't been doing as well. And I believe that's a whole nother story in itself, because the rate cuts are going to help those stocks do better, which is also good for AMC and GME. And I believe that the rate cuts are very, very good for Bitcoin in the overall crypto market. And I'm going to talk about Bitcoin here, but I'm very, very bullish on BTC. But the overall market, I think, is going to see a push to the upside and then pull back. So I think SPY is going to be coming higher, maybe even coming as high as like 572 in that range, and then pulling back, maybe even 575. But I think we're going to have a pullback to the downside, and I think we're actually going to be seeing a red week this week. If you go ahead and look what's going on the daily time frame as well, we're getting just a lot of indecision candles. You can see all of these doji style candles. And I just don't think that the market has much more room to go. Like I said, in 2007, you've seen a rally after the rate cuts, and then the market absolutely capitulated. And if you look at what's happening here on the weekly time frame as well, and I talked about this extensively on Twitter, is you can see we have that bearish divergence on the weekly RSI as well. What you're going to see is price start to flatten out and then correct down in a big way. RSI clearly trending down while price trending up. You can see volume clearly trending down while price trending up. This is a very unhealthy market in my personal opinion. Monthly RSI also overbought. You can see last time we got to those conditions, we had a steep correction to the downside. You can see that's happened historically, actually. So if you look at all the historical data going on as far as technicals, fundamentals, as far as the whole Fed is going, I believe that the overall economy is bad. I believe that the market is detached from fundamentals, and we're actually going to see a decent bear market probably in 2005, in my personal opinion, and we're going to start entering that potentially starting here soon. Again, this is not financial advice. I'm not trying to scare anybody, because if you actually prepare for these moves and play them properly, you can make a ton of money. So it's not doom and gloom. It's literally all you have to do is, once you have the knowledge, just think, okay, I believe this is going to happen. I did my research. Now, how can I profit off of this information? That's what we're all trying to do in the market, and I want everyone to be successful in their journey at making money. So this is what I think for overall market. What I think we could see here on Monday is a push up towards 568.71. I think we're going to see that in the pre-market, and then pull back towards 568.10. Okay, we want to make sure that we hold 567.50 as support. If you do, you could see a push to the upside. We want to really break 568.71 using that level of support, because that's going to signify that, yes, indeed, we are making that move to the upside, and SPY is going to inch higher before correcting down. I think ultimately that is what's going to happen. This trend line hasn't been broken. I think momentum is going to try to continue to go to the upside, then go ahead and get gassed out and pull back in a decent manner, creating an overall red week. If you go ahead and look at what's going on as far as data drops that we have for this week, on Thursday we have GDP, which is going to be absolutely huge, and you can see that GDP is actually forecasted about 3.0. So we want to see the numbers come close to that. If it comes out lower than that, the market could see a pullback. So GDP is going to be absolutely huge. This is going to be a very tough week to call, because we also have a Fed Chair Powell speech. Either of these things could send the market much, much higher. And I do expect a rally before the pullback, same as 2007. The question is, how high is this rally going to be? And I'm going to be trying to track that here on the channel. So make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. We've been extremely accurate with our predictions so far. But we have a Fed Chair Powell speech on Thursday, GDP. So Thursday is going to be absolutely huge, and Friday is going to be absolutely huge. I think we're going to see bullishness in the beginning half of the week, and then the later half of the week see bearishness, in my personal opinion, giving us an overall red week overall. So this is what I'm looking at for the overall SPY and stock market, and what I think you need to know as far as a trader and investor. Let's go ahead and move into BTC and then wrap up this video. So I'm very, very bullish on Bitcoin. If you haven't seen, Trump has done a transaction in Bitcoin. This is just some Bitcoin news. And these are just some of the things that you should be looking at. If Trump did win, I'm not saying I'm for or against Trump, but if Trump did win, it looks like that would be bullish for BTC. Okay, so I just want to put that in the air. It looks like it would be bullish for BTC if Trump did win. Also, something bullish for the overall cryptocurrency market is the rate cuts that we are seeing. So you can see that the rate cuts actually had a bullish effect on BTC. And of course, the rate cuts are going to weaken the dollar. When the dollar goes down, Bitcoin goes up. If you see the dollar break below 100, you're going to see Bitcoin make more moves to the upside, and it's going to be very, very bullish for BTC. As the rate cuts continue to happen, which I think will happen, I think we're actually going to have more rate cuts here in November, in my personal opinion, and I'll make more analysis as time goes on, but I do think we're all going to get more rate cuts in November based off of what I'm seeing here. It's going to continue to pump the crypto market up. I am very, very bullish on BTC. Now, if you go ahead and look at what's going on with the BlackRock ETF as well, which is one of the largest Bitcoin ETFs, it's breaking out of overall accumulation range bull flag. So this is very, very bullish as well. I'm thinking that the ETF is going to see a move up, which is going to help drive Bitcoin up. Of course, this is a spot ETF, so they have to buy actual Bitcoin to fund the ETF. If you look, it's been in an overall bearish mode, but it's starting to curl to the upside. And if you look at Bitcoin overall, it's in a massive bull flag, and I believe that Bitcoin is actually in an accumulation range, getting ready to make a big move to the upside, in my personal opinion. I think we're actually going to see another big bull run, like similar to this, to the upside for BTC. I know that sounds crazy, but I think that the market is actually going to correct and Bitcoin is going to move up. I actually think that overall, as far as the macro is concerned, fiat currency is done. Okay, we have 35 trillion in debt. If you truly understand Bitcoin and the technology, you understand that it has 21 million coins. It is a fixed cap. It is literally a possible solution to the decaying fiat dollar because it has a fixed cap. It cannot be printed into infinity, okay? And no one controls it. There's no CEO of it. No one can print it. They have to mine it to make more. They have to work for it because it's proof of work. You can't just create it out of thin air. BTC could literally fix the US dollar. So there are rumors going around that people are worried about the debt. This is not confirmed or denied. Also, you have to look at things going on with BRICS, how they affect the US dollar. If we see the US dollar start to lose a lot of value, Bitcoin would absolutely start to pump, okay? If you measure Bitcoin in dollars and the dollar loses value, which is continuously losing value, that's what it's done over time, Bitcoin is going to keep continuing to cost more and more and more of those dollars to buy. So that's why I think Bitcoin's valuation is actually going to continue to skyrocket, believe it or not. I know the valuations seem crazy, but this is one of the best performing assets of all time, and I think it's going to continue to be one of the best performing assets of all time. Not financial advice, but I really think that holding Bitcoin is one of the most important things that you can be doing. Now, I do hold Ethereum and altcoins as well, but my portfolio is mostly made of Bitcoin, and that is just my personal opinion based off the research. I think we're going to see another move up off of the technicals here. I've talked about how we're in the fear segment of the crypto market. Also, if we looked at the rainbow chart as well, the rainbow chart is a chart that tells you good times to buy and sell. You can see that we are in that good time to buy right now. You can see any time in the purple was a good time to buy. Purple and blue, you can see we're literally in that time right now. I think Bitcoin is going to make a big move to the upside. I think that the rates getting cut are going to help altcoins. And if you look at altcoins have been popping off. Ethereum has been popping off after the rate cuts as well. I think we're going to continue to see that bullish market for the cryptocurrency, and I think Bitcoin and Ethereum in the cryptocurrency market is going to absolutely flourish here in the future, especially as the dollar continues to decay. So this is what I'm looking at. This is your weekly outlook and prediction. If Bitcoin can stay above this 60K level, that is going to be extremely bullish. You want to see Bitcoin break above about 65.6K. If you did see that level, you could expect a potential breakout of this overall bull flag for Bitcoin and having that big move to the upside and starting that overall next leg to the bull run, which I think is coming for BTC. This was your weekly outlook and prediction. I know it was a longer one. Hopefully you found it informative. If you did, go ahead and drop a like. Press subscribe for more content like this. I appreciate it if you watch to the end because so few people watch to the end. So if you're seeing this, man, I truly, truly appreciate you. And as always, y'all, have fun, stay safe, make money. Peace out. All right, y'all, that's a video. If you found it informative, go ahead and drop a like and press subscribe for more content like this. I appreciate it if you watch to the end. If you want to hit me up on my email to check about the Discord, I'll give you payment information and information about the Discord. It's a market support group. I truly appreciate it if you want to check that out. If not, it's no big deal. And as always, y'all, have fun, stay safe, make money. Peace out.